Is there anybody else that wishes to speak? Well, I couldn't imagine you'd sit quiet on that long, David.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. David Janke, 8428 Eastwood Road. I'm kind of an onlooker on this, but I do come to council meetings occasionally. Is
The
there
recording secretary laughed out loud. I'd like to note that for the record and put that into the minutes,
traffic?
please. I'll add them if I have to.
Is there a required traffic impact study on this property, on this kind of development? Does anyone know?
Jim, you're supposed to nod and give me a clue.
Well, I can briefly respond to that question. If the city council were to believe that traffic would impact this development to an extent where it believed that a traffic study was necessary, it certainly could request one. And we have done that in the past with some developments where there would be an intensification going on. We have requested and received traffic studies by traffic engineers, so yes.
See, so I think that if they're concerned about a traffic input study, which usually is paid by the developer, that you should request one, however this goes. Another question is Rice Creek. How much power really have they got when it comes to this? And I don't know, and I can't recollect which Harstead it was. Years ago, it seemed like there was a lawsuit on some wetlands, and they won the lawsuit. I don't remember if it was Harstead or not. This was before your time. So I'm concerned about how much power does Rice Creek have on what they do and not do? Does anybody know that? I mean, what's their power? They can recommend, but can they say it's got to be this or that? Does anybody know how much power they really have?
I think the power is fairly broad, David, and I think it does take legal action to overturn a decision that would prohibit such an event from occurring.
And one more question. Why was there two completely different opinions from our previous one and your opinion? They're completely different. Why would that be two different opinions?
Well, as your comments, Jim, I'm not going to speak for you, so go ahead and clarify that.
Well, there's a couple of issues here, and one is the opinions of the city attorney, and I think that's been addressed. There's been some discussion about an opinion made by the previous community development director, Rick Jopke.
That's the one I'm talking about.
Right, and at that point in time, 1977, the comprehensive plan indicated that this area was low density. At that point, yes, it would not be appropriate. There would need to be an amendment to the comprehensive plan before something could be brought forward. Also at that point, there were some discussions about doing a different kind of plat. So the land would have to be replatted. That position has not changed. If they work outside of the lots established by the plat 1974, yes, it would have to be replatted. That is not being requested at this point. The comprehensive plan, however, did undergo a very intensive, comprehensive revision between the time that Mr. Jopke drafted that response and today. And as I indicated, there is a section of this land that was re-guided to show or to become medium density residential where that would be appropriate. And that's the land fronting County Road H2.
Not Clearview.
Good enough.
Absolutely, not including the land fronting Greenwood Drive.
Greenwood, thank you.
That's correct.
Then of course, I'm always concerned about legal fees, which have been very, very high in the past. So I was very impressed in the last speaker, I forgot his name, the last speaker. And as the mayor, the leader, I think, this is just a suggestion too, between them, the landowners and the developer, if they could sit down and come to, without all these legal fees, come to some kind of resolution, like a upscale twin home isn't a bad idea. I mean, something's going to go there sooner or later. But if you could encourage them to sit down and have some meetings, maybe it won't work, but I've seen it work. I've seen it work in the past where they all sit down and say, hey, where can we all come to? And that's all I'm suggesting. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And I think it is a good idea. I think a recent publication noted that a barbecue in my backyard might be a good idea, and maybe I'd make that available. Scott.
Just to note further, as a follow-up to Mr. Janke and Mr. Morgan's comments, the attorney for Mr. Morgan, Dick Speeder, and I did discuss that issue, and I don't know if those discussions actually occurred, but he noted that you folks would be trying to contact the Harsteads regarding this matter, and it was noted that that was a very appropriate idea from the league standpoint as well.
I concur.